Hey y'all, Silverburn here, and today I want to talk about Xbox's current state that they're in right now. Could have all easily been avoided if they just didn't get too cocky and decided to do way more than people asked for. After seeing the new showcases of Xbox and them effectively doing away with console exclusives, it begs the question, what's the point of even buying an Xbox console anymore? Cause seriously, a lot of their games are on PC and are making their way over to Sony consoles. The exclusives they do have are a complete shell of themselves, aka Halo and Gears. And it seems like they've all but given up on even trying to compete and are trying to really squeeze out as much money as they can with the Game Pass. Let's get into some of the reasons I have and how their current situation could have been easily avoided. One of the main and obvious reasons for Xbox's downfall, and the reason they've never recovered, is the entire launch of the Xbox One, particularly the lead up to it. It was a disaster to say the least. It's been covered a million times. And the fact that they thought it was a good idea to essentially piss off half their fan base by making it online only when they announced it, making pre-owned games useless, and focusing more on the media aspect of the console than the actual games, put the nail in the coffin before it even came out. Now, they did end up changing all of it before it was released, but the damage was already done. What most don't seem to bring up when mentioning this, however, is that towards the end of the 360 and PS3 lifecycle, the PS3 ended up having the better games, as Last of Us, God of War 3, Gran Turismo 5 and 6, and Little Big Planet all came out during the latter stages of the console, which helped boost sales and the PS3 selling more despite having a much worse launch. But what also happened to the 360 towards the end of its main life cycle is what Microsoft is trying to incorporate in little instances. The push for live service, an always online media driven console that tried to appeal to a wider market, but the end of the 360 era is what really introduced the media push they wanted, with more ads invading the dashboard and them pushing more of online connectivity, even if it was against what most people wanted. Their push for this always online meta they wanted to go for affected everything, from the games that they developed to even how the console functioned. Going into the Xbox One, I can say from personal experience that the Xbox One felt way more overwhelming than any other console I had before. I was being bombarded with ads from the jump, and it didn't help that the games themselves were not up to par, which is an unfortunate foreshadow for Xbox's future. And plus as well, I don't know if it's just me, but like I just personally found the menu and just like trying to navigate just a whole console to be overly complicated for no apparent reason. Xbox has always had a small but really good library, including exclusives like Forza, Halo, Gears, Ninja Gaiden, Fable, Project Gotham Racing, and many of the Sega titles that came over. Pair that with them buying up Rare, and they had a pretty good lineup of exclusives. Now, what was the big issue? They dropped the ball heavily on their exclusives, as a lot of those Sega titles they gained from the Dreamcast dying out early, they never really took advantage of it post the original Xbox's timeline, on top of Sega's own financial issues, which I'll probably discuss in a separate video in the future. On top of that, their games simply just got worse. Halo, their flagship franchise, became a shell of itself after Bungie left, with Halo 4 being pretty meh, Halo 5 being just not that great, and Halo MCC just being a complete and utter failure for basically a decade until they finally fixed it, which is just crazy. And then of course their latest game, Halo Infinite, being a complete disappointment. I did not enjoy it at all. I just thought Halo Infinite was trying to chase trends, which is not what Halo was like really known for. Gears fell off a cliff after the third game, with 4 and 5 being pretty underwhelming, especially 5. As for Forza, the Horizon series is pretty good, albeit 4 and 5 being pretty shaky, but the Motorsport series is where the real issue was, as after Forza Motorsport 4, the games just did not reach the heights that game has set, especially with Forza Motorsport 5 and the brand new rebrand, or reboot as they call it, Forza Motorsport that they just came out with, I think it was a year or two ago, which honestly, I personally think that was the nail in the coffin for the Forza Motorsport series. And I know we've all seen what Fable's looking like. Safe to say that game is going to be generic slop as soon as it drops. If you want to play an actual good RPG, just go play The Witcher, because to be honest, this brand new Fable game, it just looks like a shittier version of The Witcher. minus all the cool choices and minus all the cool characters. Xbox's downfall was just insane to watch in real time, as I always thought the decisions they made were so stupid and self-destructive that really Microsoft has no one to blame but themselves. It almost caused me to question where this was self-sabotage, because it was just so fast and continuous that all these bad choices that they just kept on making kept on happening year after year after year, getting them to this current point that they're at right now. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Xbox's current situation could have been easily avoided? Leave your thoughts below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe, like, hype, do everything the algorithm likes, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.